Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kiljaedas. How's it going? So, today we're just going to do a quick little recap of my trip to Indonesia. For all of those who don't know that I made a trip to Indonesia, you can find them on my previous videos and everything. But I just want to give you a quick recap of what exactly happened in Indonesia. So once again, I was there to finally meet my girlfriend, the lovely and beautiful Kittia. And we've been talking, well, I should say that we'll go over our history as a couple in a different video and everything. So keep a note on that. But needless to say, this was the first time for us meeting together in person and everything. So the first thing that happened, of course, is we were in Jakarta because I flew from Alaska to Juneau, from Juneau to Seattle, Seattle to Tokyo, and then from Tokyo to Jakarta. And we spent a little bit of time in Jakarta, or at least the area that was near the airport and everything, which is technically not Jakarta, according to Kittia. And of course, with first impressions of Indonesia was I thought it was nice, but again, I've always heard of it being a third world country. The first time I've ever heard of Indonesia was actually through a National Geographic little mini series of episodes called Really Wild Animals, and in their little Asian version of Really Wild Animals, they introduced Indonesia to and everything. So I knew what was going on, where Indonesia was, and I also kind of knew what was there for Indonesia, especially with, again, the Komodo dragons and plus other things. At first impressions was really good for at least the first night, because again, I landed at nighttime and everything, and just looking around I thought, oh, this is not that bad and everything. And then we decided to go and take a walk during my very first day, and I noticed a pattern with Indonesia, and that is, there are some really nice places in Indonesia that look absolutely wonderful. And then there are places in Indonesia that are like, this is a third world country. I mean, the level of trash that I saw during that the very first video where Kitty and I are walking around, there was just trash all over the road, over the side of the road, I should say. And I'm just like, oh, like, god dang. And Kitty had tried to, explain that, it was, again, this is an area near the airport. This is normally like low income houses, because no one wants to live here, and if they do, that means they're really, really poor. But I mean, it reminded me of some of the streets in Oakland, California, when I went to go and see watch a Raiders game and everything. There's trash all over the road, and some of those houses, I was like, you live in that house? So, yeah. From there we went to Yogyakarta, and. When Kitty had told me that we're going to take a train to Yogyakarta, I was thinking more on the lines of how it is for Alaskan Railroad and everything, or possibly even trains in Japan, like the Shinkansen. I thought, okay, it's going to be nice, it's going to be pleasant and everything. Then you see what happened, in the video where we're just rocking violently. I'm trying to sleep, because again, we decided to go on the night train, and I'm just rocking to sleep. It's like, There is no way I can sleep. Meanwhile, Kitty on the other side, just you know, dead asleep and everything. Yeah, again, my experience with the train, there's definitely again, and mainly again, it was just some wear and tear on the railroads that were between Jakarta and Yogyakarta. I noticed though that from Yogyakarta to Surabaya, it was actually a smoother train ride, a smoother trip. So, anyways, of course, when we get to Yogyakarta, we do a couple sites, Malioboro, and everything. And of course, we saw the Borobudur, absolutely amazing. Yogyakarta is very nice. The only downside that I saw of Yogyakarta was more or less it was the people. The people just, it just seemed like everywhere we went, if you weren't someone that was visiting or a tourist, it just seemed like there were a seller and they were trying to sell things and they were trying to sell things, they were almost as bad as how it was in my teachings in Japan, where they are just like buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. But yeah, I mean, it just that's the one thing that kind of turned me off to us, is because it's like, man, everyone here is just trying to sell you something, and trust me, the Mario Bardo was like that. We had several instances where Kitty was just kind of like, get out of the store, and I don't know why I was being an idiot, and just I didn't realize how much they were just trying to sell me something. But yeah, that was and the same thing with the Borobudur. I mean, sure enough, you go there and again, it was wonderful. Borobudur was awesome, wonderful, even though I got a massive sunburn from it. Yeah, you mean, in order for you to get out, you had to go through an entire maze of freaking shops, people selling you stuff. It's almost like, it's just like how I see some amusement parks. When I see some amusement parks and everything, what they do, if you want to go on a certain ride or something like that, they're going to put you on the ride, and then what happens, where do you exit out? You exit out of the merchandise store, and so, they kind of just shoo you in, and sure enough, I mean, there were times when I actually had, I had Kitty's hand in my hand, and I had my arm around my freaking backpack protecting, because I'm thinking, man, you can get jumped here. It was, again, the place looked really sketchy, even though there are people that are trying to sell you things and everything, it looked really sketchy, and it really, I think by the time that hit, I was done with Yogyakarta, and sure enough, we decided to leave Yogyakarta. We were going to go to Bali. But our money situation, we kind of looked at our funds and was like, well, we can't really do Bali, so that's definitely for next time. Next time we were going to go to Bali. Trust me, that is something that we want to do. We then went to Surabaya and everything, and I finally got to meet Kitty's parents and everything. Um, and we decided to go see a couple sites. We finally went to a beach in Surabaya, but when I'm thinking of beach, I'm thinking clear water, white sand, nice and clean, clear water and everything. The beach that we went to was not what I expected. That's why I didn't record anything, because it was that disappointing to me. I did get to finally see some mud skipper fish, which is something that, again, I saw on Really Wild Animals, everything on National Geographic. So the kid in me was jumping for joy because saying, "That's a mud skipper!" Just to see fish actually, like, just they're doing they're actually crawling around in the on the mud and everything, and they're going inside holes and everything. The same thing with where I think Kitty and I actually saw some crabs actually fighting at one point. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Besides that, we also went to the zoo, and the zoo is a zoo, and to me, it just wasn't. I have a lot of pictures, and I hope that Kitty actually posts a video of all the pictures that we do of the zoo and everything. I just didn't feel like it was worth taking a video of, and also at the time, I kind of just didn't want to record, and I just wanted to spend time and just focus on just being with Kitty at the time. Just because every single place we were going, I was shooting a video with my pivot head camera, and doing stuff for the thing. I thought, at this point, I remember that I wanted to just take some time out just to enjoy things with Kitty. I just, do the boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. We definitely checked out a lot of malls and everything. It was great. The malls were fantastic. Again, being in Alaska, we have a couple of malls, and those malls are not like malls in the lower 48 states and other countries. We don't have those malls that are just like, whoa. So, but yeah, we ended up watching a couple movies there and everything. We watched Frozen 2, the new Charlie's Angels movie, and then we also watched Midway. Yeah, so 3 movies. I finally also got to try the fire chicken. I know that's a very, very popular thing. The fire chicken. I liked it a lot. It was very flavorful and everything. You could probably check it out on Kitty's channel and everything for a video of me eating it. It was actually quite spicy, but it tastes good. So I did the challenge of trying to eat the fire chicken and everything. I passed, I won, and everything. But now it's time for Kitty. Hopefully when she finally comes here, she's gonna try the Buffalo Wild Wing Blazing Wing Challenge. Yes, because that is our hot. Of course, there are some other sauces that apparently are supposed to be hotter than the Blazing Wings sauce, but I don't know those things now. But yeah, that was it for Surabaya. And of course we went back to Jakarta. Of course there was Dufan. I also got to check out the cathedral, one of the cathedrals in Jakarta, and I actually got to sit down and actually do my very first Catholic service, which was interesting, very interesting. But yeah, then yeah, I mean, pretty much, you know, that was it. The funny thing about the Dufan trip was that we actually got lost and couldn't find our way back to our hotel at one point. That was actually kind of funny. But yeah, after that it was time for me to go and go back to Alaska. Definitely a big pro for Indonesia. The food. The food is wonderful. The food is awesome. It is awesome. My favorite food was the soup that we ate at during my first day. It was a very spicy soup. I loved that soup. It tasted good. It had the right level of spiciness. It was a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved it. That was my number one food that I ate and everything. I know there were a couple of really famous dishes that Kitty and I weren't able to try and everything. We'll have to, we'll have to try that later on when we go back, when the time comes where we can go back to Indonesia. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. One of the things that one of the cons, of course, is, again, this is not a bad thing at all, but this is just simply from my point of view, because after all, I am Alaskan. Because I'm Alaskan, I love cold weather, and it was hot outside and humid, hot and humid mixed together. There were times when I was just so hot and burnt, I was so hot and burnt out from the heat that all I wanted to do was just stay inside and get blasted by the air conditioner. It was just bad. I can recall an instant where in Dufan we were walking around. For a couple of hours outside in the sun. It was hot. I was sweating a lot. I was drinking a ton of water. I was just down in water like no other. And then, we decided to go into an air-conditioned restaurant and everything. And we, and I put that up on the picture on the Dufan video, where I was eating beef and rice bowl. After eating it and downing a whole bunch of water and everything, I actually fell asleep on the table. And the fact that, after a while, Kitty finally woke me. I was like, "Hey, you gotta get up." And again, it was the heat. The heat literally sucked the energy out of me. And yeah, that's why I don't like being hot. I can be cold all I want. I don't have a problem being cold. But hot, no thank you. No thank you. Anyways, guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. With that, though, we can finally put an end to Indonesia and we can finally go to Raider videos. I am super psyched. I hope there's a football season going on, and I'll be posting my next two Raider videos very soon. But until then, I'll catch you later. Bye.